Show you day 2 of coming back home.
Yeah.
We're going to break down some of the gear and stuff that we use, that we throw on our bikes, and that we camp with.
Welcome back, you guys. It's been a week. We've missed you. In case you haven't seen us before or you're joining us again, I am Lacey, Lacelove on socials, Instagram, whatever, you name it.
And guys, I'm Bubba, IronFan5 on pretty much all the social stuff, including this channel.
Yeah.
So guys, this is day 2 of our Tonto National Forest trip. As you can see, we're back in the garage. So we did make it home safely, but we're sitting on our camping chairs because it's actually way funner to film this way than standing awkwardly in front of the bike.
So comfy.
We're getting better and having a good time with it. Guys, so for this episode, we're going to jump into, essentially we'll start with right where we cut off when we were camping.
Yep.
And show you day 2 of coming back home. And then after we show you that, we're going to break down some of the gear and stuff that we use, that we throw on our bikes, and that we camp with. So we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, some good favorites. Stay tuned.
right, we hope you enjoyed that. So just, again, day 2 is beautiful. We woke up early. We took our time getting out of there.
Yeah.
We actually filmed Lacey riding around in Tonto National Forest. Got some fun footage.
Yeah, that was super fun.
So like we woke up early, did that, came back, packed up. We'll go ahead and at the end of this video, guys, there's always linked videos. So we'll link the one with Lacey. It's like a minute long. It's pretty quick. And then we'll also, if you haven't seen it, link day 1 as well. So you kind of catch up to where we are right now.
Smart.
But how did you feel like day 2 went?
Well, we did take our time a little bit waking up in the morning. I guess we did wake up regular but early, but I think I did really well coming back. There's a lot less of the switchbackiness that you get on the ride out, which I don't think I recalled even on rides that we've done previously when I was backpacking with Bubba. But yeah, at some point, either once we were home or even just the couple stops that we made gas stations wise on the way back to Phoenix, I said to him, I'm like, the curves and that sort of situation was a lot less frequent, or maybe just tight, like back to back. Yeah, so that was kind of nice. I think that we rested really well. It was nice to be out in like, what, 63 degrees, I think was the low that night, which maybe not normal to other people for cool, but for us, I slept like a rock, which was fabulous. But I think I did really well until we got back off the Beeline Highway, coming back into Scottsdale. It was hot. It was hot, and I think we knew that it was going to be hot because we probably left, you might remember what time we left breakfast.
Yeah, I think we left probably right about 10.
Yeah, so we were a couple hours behind, where when we left here, it was only hot for maybe the first 45 minutes to an hour, and then we got into those cooler temps where we were on the reverse side here, where we left cooler temps as they were warming up, and it was pretty hot coming back. So
yeah, I think when we looked when we got back, it was like 112, 113.
Yeah.
But that's probably the last hour of the ride is doing that.
Yeah, which again, not awful, but I think I tend to be a little more sensitive to the heat, and
because you're small.
Yeah, because I'm little. But yeah, it wasn't awful. I think the ride home was beautiful. I think for me, it's teaching me things. I mean, we even talked about this earlier this week, which was I need to really pay attention to my hydration, not even the day of so much, but the day before, which I think we did pretty good the ride out. But we hung out by the fire that night and maybe didn't drink as much water as I normally would when we're at home, and I've got my big old cup next to the bed. But yeah, so like little things like that. It's just teaching me in the moment more so than anything how to mentally prepare, which I think that's pretty much keyed in now. But random little things. If we know that we're going to be riding in over 105 degrees, I really have to make sure I'm hydrated the night before, hydration packets or whatever. We didn't bother to take, the cooling vests this time around, which don't think were necessary by any means, but little things like that just to make sure I stay cool. So
yeah, I think there's a lot that, and we've talked back and forth about this, where you kind of learn your limits and you also learn tell signs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down like a whole medical advice thing because I'm not qualified to do that.
Not a doctor.
I think for it, heat stroke, growing up in Phoenix, it's pretty common, and so heat stroke is something that comes on you really quick, and so you really have to be prepared, and you also have to know, because once you pass a certain threshold, you're kind of done. And I've had that happen to me before while riding, where really my body was shutting down, and it was like every 5 minutes I felt like I needed to stop because I really couldn't see anymore, and I was getting real dizzy and disoriented. And once it gets to that point, you really can't recover until you have some time.
Yeah,
and so
really have to. Yeah,
it's something that again we're just more aware of. The great part and the great news about this is we're finally getting on the lower end. We're still in the hundreds, but like
I know, so
in the
exciting.
Evenings or early mornings we're at least like maybe high 70s, 80s, and so like, I ride pretty much every day when I go to work and stuff like that, and now I'm like, all right, it feels good out.
Bubba is very acclimated to the Arizona heat. I'm still working on that, but yeah, I'm very excited. The fall temps are going to be absolutely fabulous. I even joked with him the other day, which, mind you, I think it was 105, 103 right around that day was our high. So we had some cloud coverage, and I looked at Bubba and I was like, I can't wait to pull out my leather jacket that we got this spring at AZ Bike Week. And he looks at me like I'm so dramatic. He's like, you will not need that until January. And I'm like, no, when it's 70 degrees out, I'm putting that baby on.
That's what we're talking about.
She's hung up back here, over here, right? Yeah, but I'm very excited. Yeah. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this, I say fall and winter, but once these temps drop a little bit, we'll be able to ride all the time, which I think compared to some people even who live out here, like I love that your dad and your brother will get out when they can to ride with us, but I think even them, they don't commute as frequently as you do either because it's just hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun this fall and winter season. We'll have a lot of fun getting out on the bikes. But
yeah, we are blessed as far as the rest of the country and world to be able to ride as much as we do through the winter time. So it'll be fun. But all right, guys. One more thing about the trip that I want to add in. Every time we stop on Payson, we stop at like the same cafe.
Oh yeah, the breakfast cafe.
There's a short clip in that little montage that we put on, and
the Pinion Cafe.
Yeah,
and it's
I don't know
very
how to
good.
say it.
Yeah.
You know?
Pinion. I know that it's something that it's like a seed or something that you can eat. That's what it's named after. But yeah, it's actually very good.
Yeah,
and
so we always have a good time.
Delicious breakfast. Bubba and I have it down to a science where we kind of look over the menu and then we give each other the side eye like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? And we're like, what if we got both and share? And we're like, yay.
So it's typically country fried steak, and they have something called like Elvis French toast, which is like peanut butter and banana and stuff on French. It's great. So
it was great. We had some salty, some sweet. We got protein. It was
great breakfast. Great way to start the day.
Yeah, it was totally worth the stop.
Yeah, and cruise home.
Yep.
So guys, we want to jump into some of the stuff that we use. Obviously, if you, again, followed last week and know that we didn't cook, so I'm not going to get into any cooking stuff. Historically, for myself,
we do cook. I watched that video back, and Bubba was supposed to put a note in there that he said, we're so bougie, this is how we do it. I said, this is the first time we haven't brought food, but we have some bags. We're trying to figure out that situation, so we didn't get to bring as much as maybe we would have.
The first thing that I'll get into is we have this. It's about a 20-pound tent, and it's the biggest thing that we have. You can get much smaller tents, especially if you're camping alone, that will fit better on your bikes. For us, like this fits fine on my bike. I use it as a base and kind of stack stuff on top.
Yeah.
So no issues there.
This was a new addition earlier this spring too.
Yeah, so we just got this tent, and it's literally because of me. It drives me nuts when I can't stand up in a tent, and I'm 6'5".
Yeah.
So just to give you guys a little perspective.
He's hunched over trying to put his clothes on in the morning. This one's great.
So it's nice to stand up. And the smallest tent that I could find that I could also stand up in was a 10-person tent. I will say though, this 10-person tent is massive, but it also it takes me the same amount of time to put this tent up that it would a 4-man tent. So super easy to put up.
I think it's great.
Yeah, so like we've had a few great trips with it so far. So even though it's a little bit bigger than I think what most people would need or want while traveling, if there's 2 people or more, you can just bring one tent, one person can throw that on their bike, and then everyone can sleep comfortably and get a little bit out of the elements. So again, great addition.
Works well when we've got the kiddo too.
Probably like probably the least
with the kids.
moto camping item that we have, but it is easy. Jumping to the next thing, like I just said, for comfort is, again, I used to hammock camp quite a bit, got away from that. I have some back issues now, and so we sleep on cots.
Not opposed to a hammock. I just told Bubba we need a mosquito tent because I can't get eaten alive by bugs all night. But yeah, the cots work great.
But for this, we have pretty compact cots.
I think we have a clip of that too. So
so I think there's a little clip in that first video. We'll throw one up right here, just probably overlay it in front of us. So this one is a King Camp cot, pretty easy to put up, super lightweight, guys. Like it's like maybe 3 or 4 pounds. And that,
snap
again,
together fast.
You can throw it up. Yeah, it's quick pop up. Even if you don't have a tent, this is great because you're going to get a good night's sleep. And then for me, I went with this brand and shopped around for a while because they're 80 inches long. So I can sleep on it. Most of the stuff that you're going to see is not geared towards that. So again, you could probably get away with something a little bit more compact, a little smaller if you're under 6'5". So Lacey could probably have a much more compact system.
I sleep like an angel.
But we just kind of, we double it up.
So much more.
And it's been pretty solid. So again, for us, camping, getting a good night's sleep while riding a bike, especially if you're doing multiple days in a row. I know for us on this trip,
it was just a quick overnight.
It was a quick overnight. But if we're doing multiple days in a row, like having a cot and a tent, like you sleep so much better, and the total setup time is 10 minutes. So like you sleep well, it doesn't really take time out of your day, and it's not bad.
All right, cool. I love this little thing. See if I can open it. Ooh. Woo, look at that little guy. These are great. I don't know what it's called. It's a lantern, but what is do we know the brand?
I'll link it.
Yeah,
so people
okay,
can
yeah, Bubba will link it. But yeah, it's this little electric lantern, and these are fabulous.
So something about this, guys, is it is plastic, but it's like a dense plastic. It takes batteries, so like for us,
Going for a night, it's only going to be on for a couple hours.
It's pretty compact. You literally just throw it up in your tent. You can throw it up on a table if you have that. And it's pretty easy to use. And again, it saves on weight. So if you are weight conscious, super good that way.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've had this for a few years now and it's still solid.
Yep.
So
great little
it is durable. It's not getting
well, what is it?
broken.
Probably 5 inches, 6 inches maybe? Like that's little. That could fit in my makeup bag practically.
Yeah, so
yeah,
not bad.
It's great.
So something, again, we always bring with us, just to have light in the evening. We also have headlamps and some other stuff that we typically bring. But again, this light right here would just, you could throw it up in the middle of camp or in the middle of the tent and you're gonna light your whole area. It's pretty small, so super helpful.
Works super well. Love the wool blanket. Oh, Bubba has another one that he keeps up under here with his bars, and I love that one too, but these are great. Yeah, I don't know where, again, you probably link it, whatever, but yeah, these are warm, they're cozy, relatively lightweight. I think one of the trips we did not that long ago, we had one of the other ones, it was like one of the Mexican style blankets or whatever they're called, but we had it rolled up and it works as a nice little back cushion for when you're riding and whatever. But yeah, these are I don't even know how big this one is. Big. I think we
this one's pretty big.
Let me look while you talk. Oh yeah, it's a 66 by 90 inch.
Yeah.
And it's flame retardant, which is great.
So I was just gonna say, the nice thing about wool blankets is, again, you can get a flame retardant. And obviously if you're camping and stuff and it gets into chillier temperatures, you can use it by the fire, not really worry about it. I've also used them, they're dense enough and thick enough. If it's not like downpouring, it'll keep you dry if you throw it over yourself. So oftentimes if I'm hammock, I'll throw that on there. And
a burrito, Bubba.
I'm warm, I'm safe from the elements and stuff. So it's just a useful thing to have. For us, we typically will throw it either over both of us or lay it down as like a ground pad and just keep us separated from the coolness that comes off the ground.
Yep.
It's super universal. You can use it when it's hot, when it's cold, for everything. So I would always recommend,
little blankies.
especially camping. I always have one on my bike just to give me shade, to use it as a pillow, whatever.
Multiple uses, definitely.
But yeah, they're super handy. So I would always recommend blankets in general or something. But I would take this over a tarp any day. But that does lead us to the next thing that we have is
tarp.
A tarp. Guys, generic tarp. I'll link the one that we bought. But again, just have a tarp with you. Same thing. You can cover your bikes with it. You can throw it down as a ground mat. Like, it just is a universal item that, keeps separation from the elements, and it doesn't weigh anything. You can throw it anywhere, wrap around stuff, and be safe.
Yep.
Guys, that's kind of like the basis of what we brought on this trip.
Yep, and our chairs.
And then, like I said,
love these guys.
The last two things are collapsible chairs, which is what we're sitting in. They fold up to smaller than a cot, about this big. They're super light.
Yeah, I think
they're aluminum framed and they fold, it's just a bunch of poles that fold up and stay together.
Yep.
So like we've used these now for, again, a couple years.
Yeah, these when you found these, big game changer. And they are, again, very lightweight. Like even just for regular camp, if we're taking the car, these have been nice because it saves a ton of space, but 100%, I would recommend these to anybody if they're bike camping because it can fit in the bags so easy.
When I was gonna say, this is probably one of the most this and a table are like the most overlooked things that people forget when they go camping, especially on a motorcycle, I feel like.
Agreed.
And
yeah, we got lucky. Tables came with our site. We got lucky.
But if you don't, same thing as these chairs, they make tables that are the same thing and they work. Like it's just literally material, but they stretch real tight. You can cook on it, you can put your feet up. Like it just is nice to have something to set your stuff on.
Yeah.
That's not the ground. And you think like, well, I can sit on something around there or find something. It never works out that way. So again, always recommend if you're going moto camping, have a chair with you just to sit down and relax at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference.
These are great though, for real. They fold up, again, like Bubba said, they clamp up and all these little poles disconnect, and I could probably fit my hands around it, but think about this versus, I think our other camp chairs might be in the backyard, but like think about that versus like very standard, right? Like the ones that just kind of collapse in on themselves. They're still, what, 2
they're
feet
massive.
tall. tall
little
and
heavier, all
a little
that stuff.
heavier and stuff. Yeah, but these, I love these. I don't know. These were fun. When you found these, I was very excited. I'm like, they're so cute.
Yeah, so
But-
these have kind of been a crucial or essential thing for
Yeah.
us to just hang out, again, by the fire in the evening, be comfortable.
Yeah, they're comfy. They got these little neck thingies. I'm like, the only thing it needs to do is be a lounger for me, and then I could take a nap.
Yeah. I feel like it seems like we're really plugging all this stuff.
Not sponsored.
We're not
just
sponsored
like
at
these
all.
products.
I'm just trying to tell you guys what we use. And then the last thing, which I didn't throw up here, because I think that everybody can do their own research on this stuff, is a sleeping bag. The only thing I would recommend is when you're looking at bags, find one that unzips all the way.
Yeah.
Unless you're going camping, which like moto camping in a very cold area, which most people don't do.
Yeah.
I'd recommend, again, square bottom that unzips all the way so you can lay it down as like a base layer or wrap it around yourself. Use it both ways because it just comes in way more handy than you think. So again, I'm not going to recommend any sleeping bags because there's literally thousands of reviews and different kinds and all that
Maybe
stuff.
we'll have a favorite in the next couple of years.
Maybe, yeah. But guys, again, that's kind of the essentials of what we brought camping with us. And honestly, we had a great night, had a good time getting out there.
It was a lot of fun.
And like we mentioned, we had just a limited time.
Yeah,
So
it was a quick overnight trip.
we had 2 days off, so we left midday on the first day. Took a quick trip up there, and then we're able to, once we set up camp, we took our bikes, rode around Tonto National Forest. It's beautiful. For us, it was escaping the heat and just getting to ride in good weather.
Yeah.
And then same thing, come back the next day, we had a great ride down and just were able to enjoy the time together and riding. So
was
if
good.
you can, force it to happen.
Yeah, always. Oh my gosh.
So lesson of the episode is prepare yourself and then you'll have a good time. So again, that's why I went through the gear. Sometimes having a good time does take preparation. It can't all be spontaneous as much as we all want it to be. And so even something like, guys, I have this on my lap right now. I always have my notebook with me. I take notes,
Yep.
I journal in them, I do a ton of stuff, but I just write down everything. I also have bad memory, so it helps. But guys, I can go back to this. You can do it on your phone and just have a list of things that you need to bring. After you go, sit down, review, like, oh, I would have been really nice. Like for us, one of the things, or for me personally, was like, hey, that was a great trip. I need a chair next time, like we just talked about. So take notes and then just have an ongoing thing, and so you can go back. And again, the more you prepare, the better time you're going to have.
Yeah.
So just put in that initial time, and it'll be great.
Totally agree. Yeah, great advice. That's a good one.
Thank you.
I like it.
Guys, again, we'll go ahead and plug at the end of this as we're wrapping it up. We'll plug the video of Lacey and then week 1 if you haven't watched that or checked that out. It was very exciting for us. It's our best video yet. So
Very exciting.
Yeah, so this week
We've had fun watching that bump up this week. That's been very, very cool.
So it's been super cool. So guys, thank you for watching, supporting, subscribing, all that stuff.
Yeah, thanks for the new subscribers. We should have opened with that, but seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Maybe I'll plug it at the beginning, like, thank you so much for all the subscribers.
Thank you so much.
But guys, it honestly it's super cool. It's great to get comments.
Yeah.
I know both of us we have comments on the YouTube videos themselves, but people have reached out to us on like our Instagrams
and stuff,
and other social channels, and
that's some really
it's been really cool. It's been great to talk to people.
Yeah.
We're actually meeting up with people and making connections. And so guys, thank you for following along. We hope you continue to do so. Check out these other videos. Do all the same stuff. Comment, reach out to us. We really do enjoy talking to people.
Yeah, say hi.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Yeah.
Great job.
Pew pew. You're so sweaty. I love it.